Yo my people, it's Elster Africa here again, and in today's video, guess what? I'm actually looking at my phone because I've got a list. After having lived in Nigeria for 2 weeks, this is my humble review, and this is what I can tell you watching about Nigeria. I know that most people might not agree, but most of these things I am saying are actually things that I got to encounter and experience in Nigeria, not just about a single place in Nigeria. To let you know that going to Nigeria, I actually got to places like Ikom, which is a border town between Cameroon and Nigeria. I left Ikom, went to Calabar, from Calabar to Itu, as some people would say. In my mind, I knew that I went to Uyo, but some people said I went to Itu. And then I left Itu and went to Port Harcourt. From Port Harcourt, I went to Anambra, that is Onitsha. I left Onitsha and went to Lagos. From Lagos, I went to Ogun State. I went to so many places in Ogun State. And I equally left Ogun State, now came back to Abia State before coming back to Cameroon. But out of all of this is 8, but I've been to 7 states in Nigeria. Like, these are places I've actually been to, experience what the lifestyle there looks like, and I've also seen how the vibe in most of these places looks like. And so this is my humble review about Nigeria. You might not agree with all of these things I've got to say. Now, the first thing, which is accommodation. As someone who travels on a budget and would want to save a lot of money, I preferred using hotels in Nigeria than using the Airbnb application, because with hotels, I feel like you just pay for maybe a night or two, which you'll be spending in any of these places. You pay and they are very, very affordable. Now, these hotels are very affordable because we live in Cameroon, and coming to Nigeria, the currency is a little bit higher than the Naira, and that's where we've got an advantage. And of course, that's a big plus for anyone who is traveling to Nigeria with a currency that's way higher than the Naira. But to think that some years back, it wasn't the same thing, but still, hotels in Nigeria are very affordable, I must say. With a 10,000 Naira, or even less, with a 10,000 Naira, you can actually get a good hotel in Nigeria. Good one, I wouldn't tell a lie. Like, most of these hotels work with AC, as they call it, AC or air conditioner. Yeah, most of the, like, with 10,000 Naira. 10,000 Naira should be like $5 or $6, like that, something like that. Then the next thing I want to talk about is the data rate in Nigeria, brother. Woo, this is cheap, man. Data rates in Nigeria, before going, I used to think that it was cheap, but when I got there, I actually got to realize how cheap data rates in Nigeria are. Like, I remember I took a screenshot, which I would like to share with you all here, such that you can see. I'll share you the screenshot then before maybe I get to actually put it on the screen, but I really want to share this with you so that you can see how cheap the data rates in Nigeria are. Like, unbelievable to me, yeah? To me. Look at this. 18 gigabytes for 5,000 Naira. Like, I hope that this is clear, yeah? I know if this is really clear like that, but I guess you can see that. Like, 18 gigabytes for 5,000 Naira. 5,000 Naira in Cameroon. You don't want to hear how much 5,000 Naira in Cameroon is, brother. 400 Naira will give you 2 gigabytes. 500 Naira giving me 2 gigabytes. Now, I was using the network Airtel. I actually wanted MTN instead, but unfortunately, the guys at the border gave me Airtel, and Airtel SIM card, and that's what I had to use throughout Nigeria. But unfortunately, the network connection was not really the best. Not like it wasn't working, it was actually working perfectly, but uploading a video for someone like me who would upload a video of 7 gigabytes, 4 gigabytes, 5 gigabytes was really a big problem for me. And so in Nigeria, I realized that, hey, at any point in time, I could upload my video. Because in Cameroon, I'm not using any Wi-Fi or stuff. I don't want any of those things. People have been complaining a lot too. I got myself a Wi-Fi, but I don't see any need of using that thing. For now, not like I will not use it. I'll get to use it with time. But in Nigeria, bro, you really don't need that. You might just need it to get fast internet. In Cameroon, I always upload my videos mostly by midnight, except that this video is not too much. If it's a 3 gigabytes video, I could upload within the day. And that's how I get to upload my videos like that. But in Nigeria, anytime I could upload, because with my 3,000 Naira, 4,000 Naira, you get very good bundles with data. Like, With 3,000 naira, you will get a 10 gigabytes with Airtel. I don't know about MTN or about any other network. And yeah, the next thing I want to talk about is how vast Nigeria is, brother. Traveling to Nigeria, you might not believe or understand how vast this country is. Now, I only went to 7 states out of 36. 36 big states. And living from one state to the other, I really saw the distance, even though at times it would be like, this place is not far, where you're going to is not far, but I'll end up realizing that where I'm actually going to is really, really far. Not just that, but looking by landmass, the country is very huge, and the population as well is mad. The population of Nigeria is mad. Bro, more than 200 million persons in a single country is just a lot, yeah? It's a lot. Now, on the next thing is that at every control post, like crossing every control post, I realized that the police will just get to do their job. Like most of the time, the control posts don't even ask for anything. The drivers will just get to maybe give a 500 naira, 200 naira. It's in Nigeria that I got to realize that you give an officer 200 naira while you're applying the road as a driver. 200 naira. I feel like maybe these 200 nairas notes wasn't or isn't a problem because they're actually like banknotes, not coins. But in Cameroon, you cannot do that now. Even you give, I think there are some people who would not take 500. Unfortunately, these things happen. It's true that I might not have evidence of any of these things, but I'm talking about what I saw. I could not film everything, unfortunately, but this is what I actually saw and experienced. At control posts, the police will do their work, custom will do their work, immigration will do their work. It's true that this might not happen everywhere, but with my experience, this is what I actually saw, and I was also impressed with this. But when I got back to Cameroon, I began to say, I saw some videos of a video of someone who was like, police are not doing just their work, they are doing this and that. But with my experience, I didn't really see that. What I saw was that every person gets to do their work and leaves whatsoever the other person is to do for them. This was really something that I uploaded, and I'm like, kudos, man. Po. That was a good one. Now, the banking system in Nigeria is top notch. I don't know if I should say compared to that of Cameroon or maybe compared to that of other African countries. The banking system in Nigeria is something to write home about. I will not lie. Bro, almost everybody in Nigeria has a bank account. Almost everybody in Nigeria would have a bank card. Now, for someone like me, I have a bank account, and some people have but I know people who are of the same age with me, age group, friends, and all of that. They don't have a bank account, unfortunately. Now, it is not just about owning a bank account, but the fact that these banks in Nigeria have actually made mobile payments like really, really accessible, and the fact that there is this POS, point of sale, almost everywhere where you can withdraw and send money, receive money at any time. This is something that really makes the country stand out. Like, bro, I feel like Cameroon, where I'm coming from, we're still there for back. Like, we're still very, very far behind. Now in Cameroon, what we have more is mobile money, orange money, and that's it. Most of these banks, people are not really prioritizing the banks like that. Maybe because they have not given us better services, or they are not giving us much more better services like the way they do in Nigeria. Yeah. The next thing now is rice is a very common meal in Nigeria. Rice, be it jollof rice, be it white rice, be it fried rice, it is a very, very common meal in Nigeria. And even though the farm rice in Nigeria, if you live at the border, like the border town between Cameroon and Nigeria, that's Ekok and Ikom, you would understand how much rice is being imported from Nigeria to Ikom. Like, a lot of rice is being imported from Cameroon. If you go to Nigeria, or if you go to Lagos, say to Nigeria, Lagos, bro, you eat a lot of rice. It's not like they haven't got maybe some other meals. There are actually, but I feel like rice is something that is really top notch, and you will not get to joke with that. And the rice in Nigeria as well is very, very expensive. Yeah, the price of rice is very expensive. You will not want to, even think about this. But yeah, not the price of like the cooked rice selling, but a bag of rice costs a lot of money. Most Nigerians will testify. If you want to argue, then I feel like now you they do well, or now you they get the money easy. Now, this is funny. Roads within the cities in Nigeria, like the roads within the cities, bro. Hey, oh my God! I love the fact that even in states where you were thinking that this one will just there anyhow, it is not the case. The intercity roads are being kept, like taken good care of. The governors are not joking, or maybe the governors are not joking with that. First, I love the fact that Nigeria is a federal state where every state out of the 36 get to elect their governor. And as a governor, you have to work. If you don't work, these people will try, they go kick your ass. But they might not really be perfect in other aspects. But you see the roads, they really make sure that their roads are top notch and very good. I can testify, and I've seen this, and even in all of my videos you've been watching in Nigeria or from Nigeria about Nigeria, you can testify that I could not stop talking about the road network in Nigeria, because this is something that I really admired, and I was like, wow, so this is Nigeria. This is not the Nigeria the media has always portrayed to us. This is not the Nigeria that people always go and come back and tell us exists. This is a different side of Nigeria you didn't know existed, and this is the Nigeria you definitely want to see and want to visit. Yeah. Now, drinking bottled water in Nigeria is not luxury. It is a necessity. In Cameroon, we mostly see people drink, or plenty people see others who drink bottled water as luxury. Hey, Moby Guinness in Cameroon, yeah. Moby Guinness, go and carry water because it's very clean there. But you see in Nigeria, bottled water is common now. It's very common, bro. Bottled water, sachet water, but I feel like bottled water is really something that almost everybody goes with that. And I realized something, that they don't sell food in Nigeria without water. Hey, Baba. They don't sell food without giving you water. They will not save you food and not give you water. Cameroon, can we learn from this, please? Can we learn from this? Like, how much is water? Goodness. I feel like there's so many things that we're lacking behind, that if we get to travel, you will see most of these things. I was really impressed. Not shocked, but I was impressed with the way you serve food and then water is coming. Here, if you don't buy food, if you buy your food in Cameroon, Baba, ready to buy your water. That's right, unfortunate. Now, the currency rate, as I earlier said from the onset of the video, is very, like the exchange rate of the naira compared to other notes is really low. By the time I went to Nigeria, it was, I think more than 2. I don't know how they put it, but more than 2.5, depending on the currency I was converting with. Yeah. I don't even know why I have to say more than 2.5, but that's according to the CFA. So if you take it that way, it means that one CFA 2.5 will give you whatever you get in naira. That's what I mean. But you know that in Nigeria, the currency is relatively low, and you realize that this has really caused a hike in a lot of prices, on prices of basic goods and commodities, and this is really, really unfortunate. This is really putting the country going through hard times. You might be, there are certain things that I went to Nigeria there are certain things that I looked at while in Nigeria to be very cheap, but most people will be like, no, this is expensive instead. That's because maybe I just got into the country and I'm looking at these things like, this is cheap compared to Cameroon, where I'm coming from. But this is not the case with Nigerians who actually live in Nigeria, because they will still be like, even though it's low, if you don't get to leave Nigeria, you will not understand the advantages you are enjoying as a Nigerian. If you are in Nigeria, you can earn your small money, stick to that, enjoy it. But if you have to leave Nigeria, you really have difficulties, because changing your naira to any other note, you really have to drop and just push down everything, and you will be to an extent where you will not really like it, unfortunately. Now, main means of intracity transportation in most Nigerian cities, you have the bus, like this bus that are either painted in blue and white, yellow, white, like most of these colors. Some could be red and all that. Within the city, like within the city center, you will not find keke. You find these buses, or maybe you can book a cab. Unfortunately, or fortunately, you can book a cab. There are several cab services in Nigeria that you get to see while you get there. And the cabs are really expensive compared to what the buses or the bus services get to offer. With the bus, you can just take a very short distance and you're paying your 100 naira, 200 naira. But with the cab, bro, you're ready to pay plenty money. Anyways, that's because the cab gets to carry just you alone and taking you to your destination, but you get to pay much more than what you pay with buses. So coming to Nigeria, I'll prefer you go with your buses if you're working on a budget. But if you really want to flex, yes, go with the cabs. Yeah, that's something you will not want to miss out on. But you also have keke. You have keke that goes around almost, that one you find in almost every city in Nigeria. Keke, you find keke in almost every city in Nigeria. That's fortunately. And it is also another easier way to go around the towns or the cities in Nigeria. Now, in a place like Lagos, which was something I was like, wow, I was marveled. Lagos has got, like, there's the RBT buses. I don't know if it's BTR, is it RBT or BTR buses? These buses actually, like, they will take you from the island to the mainland to the island within the city of Lagos. These buses you will not see traffic with them. Their prices are really, really good. These buses, the services, top notch. I will not tell you a lie. You don't pay with cash, you pay with, there's a card, there's a cowrie card where you get to pay with. And there's equally the train service. There's the blue line, there's the red line. Two of them already. Bro, I tried the red line and it was superb. I loved the experience. I really enjoyed living in Lagos, Nigeria. The means of transportation within the city is what you will not even just expect that, but it is what it is. Really, really good, I must tell. Within the city center, you have these buses, you have cabs, you have the yellow buses. But out of the city center in Lagos, you have motorbikes and keke added to these other means of transportation. And yeah, that's it for the means of transportation. Now, electricity in Nigeria, unfortunately, you will not have 24/7 electricity. It's really, really unfortunate. So every person, or almost every person in Nigeria, has got a generator, or you use your solar system. That's the way you get to generate your own electricity and be able to have your own lights 24/7. If you don't do it that way, most businesses tend to use this. Now, I was really surprised that I got to the Onitsha market, and bro, you see shops are inside, and they're in the dark. There's no electricity. I was really, really surprised that why do things like this happen? But I mean, if you've been hearing about this in Nigeria, electricity is really not an issue, or it's really an issue. People don't get to enjoy 24/7 electricity. It's true that in Cameroon, electricity, they'll get to seize the electricity once in a while, not like every single moment they get to seize electricity, unfortunately. With us here, you might go for a week without any power cuts. Even at times, people go for months without even a single power cut in Cameroon. But there are also moments where you can go for a whole day without the electricity. But that doesn't mean that in 24 hours you'll not be able to get electricity. But it wasn't the case in Nigeria. The reason why having a generator in Nigeria is just a normal thing. Owning a solar system might be an advanced way to avoid the noise that the generator always comes with. Unfortunately, yeah. So if you're watching this video so far and you haven't subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. Someone was asking if I'm not going to Onitsha. I've been to Onitsha. Let me name the cities I've been to through in Nigeria. You might want to watch videos from these places, the ones that I did. I'll still name them, yeah. I might tag some of these videos in the description box. Calabar, I've been to Calabar, I've been to Itu, I've been to Uyo, I've been to Port Harcourt, I've been to Onitsha, I've been to Lagos, Nigeria, I've been to Badagry, I've been to Ogun State. Now in Ogun State, I was in it was one local place like that. I really don't know the name of that place again. Ipokia. It was in Ipokia local government area in Ogun State. And I've also around Target, Ogun State, yeah, I was there. And then in Abia State, I've been to Aba. The famous Aba. Oh my goodness. That was me transiting already to Cameroon. And so these are like the 8 places I've been to in Nigeria. And I've also been to Ikom, because Ikom is a border town between Cameroon and Nigeria. If you are watching this video and you are not subscribed here, I don't know what you're waiting for. Please consider subscribing, consider giving this video a like, and please, if you are watching me in the US, you can hype this video. Please hype my video so make people come see and plenty. I beg you. So I mean, you cannot go to Nigeria and you tell me that you not speak pidgin now. The main means of communication in Nigeria is English language, pidgin. But if you can learn any of your local languages, like depending on which place you find yourself, it will be a plus for you. Or if you can't learn any of those, go with a local who will be able to communicate with some people. Some people will not really be able to understand you like that. There are places where I will speak English to somebody. I think I encountered that just with one person who I spoke English and he was like, he doesn't understand. I was just like, maybe no man, at least he understands his local language, so it's not any big deal. But going to Nigeria, be able to express yourself in English or in pidgin English. Coming from Cameroon, it was more of an advantage for me. I'm a Cameroonian. We get to express ourselves in both English and in pidgin English. Now, the Cameroonian pidgin is more like the Sierra Leonean Creole, as they call it, or the Sierra Leonean pidgin, as I will call it. It's just the same, very, very identical. But because we live and we watch a lot of Nollywood movies, and because we interact with a lot of Nigerians here in Cameroon, I can be able to understand every single bit of Nigerian pidgin. Yeah, Cameroon is one of those countries that harbors a lot of Nigerians. There are more than 4 million of Nigerians in Cameroon, and a majority of them are in Douala, and some of them in Yaoundé. Douala is the economic capital of Cameroon, obviously, and so everybody coming to Cameroon want to settle in Douala, make a lot of money, send back either to Nigeria, but invest as well in Cameroon. Now, brother, so those were like some of the few things that I realized in Nigeria or that I encountered in Nigeria and would want to share with you. But you see, pepper, so people will call it spice. Like pepper is a necessity in Nigeria. If you are preparing food and there's no pepper, what are you doing? You never do anything. No. There should be pepper in that food. And yeah, that was my review about my Nigerian trip. I know that there's definitely so many things I've not talked about. I'll definitely go live someday or soon to talk about most of these things. And yeah, before going live, I'll have to write in my community tab and inform you all on when I'm going live. It's been Esther Africa here. Thank you so much for having watched this video. If you have been planning to visit Nigeria, or if you've been to Nigeria, if you're a Nigerian, let me know if some of the things I said you can actually relate. And if you have been to Nigeria, can you relate to some of these things I have said in this video? If you have watched this video to this point in time, I want to say a very big thank you for having watched. It was awesome and amazing doing this with you. I'll see you in my next video about Cameroon. Let's go. Peace out.